Hello everyone, I'm Extra Cheesy 87 and this is Let's Play Disco Elysium Part 9. In the previous video we finished day number 1 at long last. We talked to the union guy, didn't really get too much out of him, but we did get some money to pay for our rent and go to bed. Now I want to look at the mirror, because wasn't there...
mirror hangs on the wall, covered in steam.
So I don't remember if there was a skill check here or what. I just remember we backed out.
The outlines of a man.
Because we were like at 1
You
HP or
have
something.
no memory of the face that awaits you there. And as you
Wipe the
slowly
mirror.
reach your hand towards the surface of the mirror. Abort. You clearly have not thought this through. You won't like what you see there, and you will never unbecome it.
Alright, I don't care. Wipe the mirror.
Behold.
Ah!
You have no idea who this thing is, do you?
It's a superstar? I think I'm a superstar?
It appears you're also dead. There's clearly rigor mortis on your face. Oh wait, is that an expression? Are you trying to make an expression with that face? Why?
I think it might be because I'm a superstar.
Please stop. It's horrible.
This is what
You're scaring
superstars do.
yourself.
I'm gonna keep making the face.
You can't, can you? It's like it's not even voluntary anymore. You have worn that grin into your face, and now it won't come off. What does it even mean? What is the emotion you're trying to convey?
I'm insinuating that I'm vaguely sympathetic. I think it's sort of pulling it off too in a sad, has-been kind of way. There's some charm in it, or superstardom. I do like superstardom. Yeah, let's just say
You
superstardom.
should check yourself for a pulse, superstar. From here it looks like a cadaverous spasm.
I don't need to. I almost died trying to get that tie. I heard my heart beat.
Getting clever appears to make the expression even worse. Now it's mixed with smugness.
Use your chain cutters to fix the faucet. Encyclopedia. And we do have a floating skill point. Or my... Oh yeah, the logic's bad because of the thought. Okay, so that didn't progress while we were sleeping. I think we're going to just keep holding on to this. Those don't seem that important. I guess maybe it would make our face not look so funny. Okay, maybe I preferred when we were just an amorphous blob, but you know.
The door is closed. This door can still nothing.
That's a long shower. I'm a little worried. Nothing on the front page rings a bell. Strange. Anybody on the balcony? How do I get up there? We can't do anything with this door, right? We've tried and it doesn't do anything.
The fan stands still. The lights are on.
Does that do anything?
The bed is still cold from the broken window, and not too inviting. But it's yours. You've earned it. The window stands broken in its frame. Cold wind blows in. The morning light hurts your eyes. It's hazy, but you see the ocean and some war-torn building.
Alrighty. I don't know how to get up there. Oh, you guys exist now. Yeah, we should equip our other gloves. I like interfacing more. What up?
Morning. Looks like we can get to work at once. The Union muscle turned up. They look rowdy. We should talk to them.
Are those the men Gart told us about yesterday?
I completely forgot. Sorry, I had a rough night's sleep. It's them by the looks of it. Loud and nasty, just like the manager said.
Yeah, we'll wait until they hear about how we kicked that dude in the face.
One loose thread less to worry about. And one big problem to replace it.
So, what do you mean by rowdy?
I mean ungovernable. Martinez isn't exactly enthusiastic about the RCA being here. They prefer to be policed by the Union. These men here, men who drink beer for breakfast, there's talk of an armed wing of the Union called the Hardy Boys, who are responsible for state policing. I think it's them.
Alright.
One more thing before we do.
I mean, they
We
sound like
don't
they
have
could be
to talk to them
suspects.
immediately. We can walk right past them, continue with our business.
Good. A power move. Purposefully concentrate on something else first.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about back in the
We're
box.
in no hurry to leave. They think they own the place. Anyway, I leave that choice to you. Whatever you decide is fine by me.
Okay. We might do that.
Just a moment.
The old woman turns back to the cafeteria manager.
And there's no public phones nearby?
We know where there's a phone.
The closest phone booth is down the coast. Sorry for the inconvenience, ma'am.
He appears genuinely apologetic. Oh, so he just hates us. Wow, discrimination much?
It's fine, I understand. Thank you anyway.
Because our face looks like that?
I'm glad to see you again, dear.
The lady is distressed. Perhaps something more upbeat might cheer her up.
Howdy, Lena, what's kicking?
Please don't trouble yourself about me, sweetie. I was just hoping to make a call, but the Whirling's phone line isn't working.
A faint smile tells you she appreciates the effort, but at the moment her mind is on more serious matters.
The Union office probably has a phone, but I can't really get there. Or to the phone booth down the coast. And Gary's phone is dead too.
What's wrong with the phone
The
line?
manager was vague about it.
Why would he be vague about phone problems? This is something to look into later. Ask God, maybe.
Why do you need to use the phone?
To let the young woman who's house sitting for us know that we may be delayed. Morel, my husband, and our friend Gary were supposed to get back by Monday night, but they're still missing, and I haven't heard from them. I was also hoping she'd heard from Morel.
You hear that? Someone's missing. There could be foul play afoot.
I love missing person cases.
That's right. Now skip the foreplay.
What?
Time to dive into the dark alleys. Start shaking down the usual suspects. You know, legwork.
Now, when you say legwork, you don't mean it like in a suggestive way, voice in my head, because you're saying it in kind of a suggestive way.
Doing some good will alleviate the hangover. At least you're of use to someone.
Okay, I'll bite. Has your husband gone missing before?
That's just it. This isn't like him at all. He always plans his expeditions so carefully. But you have more important things to worry about.
What's this expedition your husband was on?
Just some field work, sweetie. Morel is a highly trained scientist. He and his assistant Gary are studying an extremely rare species of insect.
Can't he be like trying to figure out how to make speed that's not addictive? You know, something useful?
But they should have returned by now. They were just going down the coast across the water lock to set a few traps. He said they'd be back on Monday. What could be keeping them?
The waterlock. That was broken. Could this be it?
Okay, the water lock to the other side of the coast is broken. They're probably just stuck over there.
Oh my. What happened to the water lock?
I don't really know.
Well, whatever the cause, I'm thankful. To both of you. You've spared me another sleepless night.
You're welcome, ma'am.
I hate to ask, but if your investigation takes you to the other side of the coast, please do keep an eye out for my husband.
This will surely lead to a cryptozoological
Ooh.
mystery with that extremely rare...
You're right, buddy.
And if you see him, let him know Lena is waiting for him here at the Whirling. He gets so tangled up in his work that he may not know the water lock's been repaired. And it's cold out there.
If I see him, I'll let him know you're here. Or when or if I get there.
Oh, you're such a dear. Thank you, sweetie.
So, your husband's a scientist?
Oh, yes. a zoologist. A
Ooh.
cryptozoologist.
Okay,
to be
maybe
more
maybe he's
precise.
cool after all. He's doing real shit.
It's a pseudoscience.
Shut
that
up.
attempts to legitimize
It's very
research
real.
into mythological beasts and urban legends.
Don't pardon our friend Kim. He doesn't believe in the entity.
That's one opinion, yes. And people are entitled to their opinions.
Kim, she's gonna run over your feet with her wheels.
My apologies, ma'am. I did not mean to undermine your hobby.
Is his life's work?
It's not a hobby, dear. It's a subfield of zoology, one specializing in animal species that are so exceedingly rare that many assume them to be extinct or even fictitious. Searching for such species called cryptids is difficult and often thankless, and frankly, many scientists are too lazy to do it. Universities these days are rarely interested in supporting real research.
Damn right. Yeah, like I mean I thought he was just some like loser who's like, ooh, look at this panda. But now that I know he's like a cool guy out there looking for, you know, the Mothman, now I know he's legit.
She's completely internalized her husband's struggles. They are her own.
Okay. Well, tell me about the rare insect.
Oh, sweetie, it's fascinating. But I shouldn't bore you with entomological minutiae.
The lieutenant gives you a sideways glance.
I want to hear about the insect.
Well, it's a phasmid, technically, but
Does it exist in another dimension and this one at the same time, simultaneously, and it blips between them?
Oh yeah. Here comes the interesting.
where other phasmids imitate sticks or leaves, this one's a living reed. It disguises itself among the reeds here on the Insulindian coast. Hence its name, the Insulindian phasmid. Perhaps you'll end up co-discovering the phasmid with us officers.
He looks you in the eye and nods thoughtfully.
I knew it. We're gonna be chasing made-up insects with cryptozoologists.
Hey, you can say that, Kim, but don't say it out loud in front of the lady.
It's not made up, officer. I can assure you.
There's a hint of defensiveness to her retort, but also confidence. She seems to sit up a little straighter in her chair.
It's simply elusive, so much so that most establishment zoologists doubt it exists at all.
Does it have cool powers?
Yes, it can blend in almost perfectly among the reeds. It's how it's stayed hidden all these years, centuries even.
So what makes you think it's around here?
Well, some teenagers making out in the reeds saw one. They didn't know what it was, of course, but there was a brief article in a local newspaper about their encounter with a ghost insect that looks like the reeds. Gary sent us the clipping.
A newspaper clipping is all the evidence you have? I mean, I don't know why you gotta phrase it like that.
Of course, most phasmid sightings turn out to be false alarms, but their description matched the Insulindian phasmid perfectly, and they didn't even know what they were looking at.
Is it dangerous?
Not at all. Why else would it hide itself so carefully?
Is it valuable?
Oh, I doubt it. No one gets into cryptozoology for the money, sweetie.
Yeah, but what if you find Bigfoot?
Oh dear. I'm afraid I'm not explaining this very well. It is very special. Morel can explain it all much better. I wish you could hear him describe it. Then you'd understand, I'm sure.
Don't tell me about
Oh
Morel.
dear. I'm not sure where to begin.
How long you been married?
We'll be celebrating our 16th anniversary this autumn. Not the most numerically satisfying anniversary, but I like the less obvious milestones even more somehow.
What does he look like? Does he have an expression
Well,
like ours?
His expression is slightly grumpy.
No, we're not
but
grumpy.
His eyes are always bright and curious, like a small boy's. And his palms are quite coarse from all the field work, but he's quite gentle.
It's always a challenge to describe the person you know best in the world.
That sounds good enough. Let me ask you something else.
I'm sorry, sweetie. I'm afraid I'm not very good at this sort of thing.
How'd the two of you meet?
By a dating agency, I'm ashamed to say. I was looking to get back into the scene after recovering from my accident. And he'd just divorced.
A dating agency.
We hit it off, and, well, here we are.
They give you like a timetable to
She's skipping over
For everything?
some important parts. Perhaps you'll find out more later.
Show up at 8:37
Hope
sharp.
I've been useful.
All right. Hiya!
There's really no point in manipulating anyone. She'd be only too pleased to tell you about her work. Go on and ask.
Hey, I'd like to hear about some of the cryptids you've studied. Can you tell me about a couple of them?
Oh, I'd be delighted. Truth be told, I could really use the company too.
Can any of them shoot lasers?
One cryptid, not a couple. One. This won't turn into some kind of cryptid extravaganza.
Ooh, cryptid extravaganza. Good idea, Kim.
And I don't. Just one.
Or he'll be disappointed in you. Ooh, tough choice there.
Okay. What's the most dangerous cryptid?
The gnome of Jeroma.
The gnome of Jeroma? That sounds terrifying.
Oh, yes. None of its
the
victims
hell?
survived. Grieving relatives never even found their bodies because the gnome's venom dissolved organic tissue.
What did it look like?
It was reportedly a small creature with webbed fingers and a protruding forehead and a ungainly little thing. Quite scary to look at. A couple of campers found it when it was already dying. They heard an odd wailing in the woods and followed the sound. They were scared and wrapped it in tarpaulin to suffocate it. It still took the gnome of Jeroma an entire day to die.
If the body of the creature was found, why aren't there detailed illustrations of it in science textbooks, confirming the existence of this very little species?
Because upon death it returns to its home dimension? Duh.
Alas, the first scientist who got his hands on the creature's corpse put it in a jar of formaldehyde, thinking that would detoxify the gnome's venom. Instead, all the venom leaked out of the creature's teeth and into the surrounding liquid, dissolving the creature itself. A poetic end, perhaps, but a real loss for science.
I don't want Kim to be mad at me, so I guess we'll stop with one.
Of course, dear.
Maybe later. Maybe we'll come back later and we'll reset the timer on him.
Let me handle this.
Oh, you're the gardener lady.
You seem a little different today. Less hospitable.
You are far from home, Lieutenant. This isn't a district known for its love of self-proclaimed militiamen.
She did seem friendlier sitting on the corner.
Not a muscle moves in her face.
Are you no longer the best NPC? Did you lie to me?
Stern and perceptive.
You are looking for Titus Hardy, who you think has information on a
What?
murder the RCM is investigating. You want to interview him.
I don't know who the hell that is, lady.
That's Titus. Talk to him. But know this. I'll be keeping an eye on you. No strong arming. Nothing official. The District of Martinez does not recognize your authority to make arrests.
It doesn't matter if you recognize our authority. We will make an arrest if we have to.
She says nothing. Her glare speaks for her.
Why are you so aggressive?
Aggressive? You make your living enforcing violence. These people are just dock workers.
Is this because I took your gloves?
So you were spying on us, and now you represent murder suspects. Just dock workers.
Listen, you moral intern lackeys.
Hey, we're the
You're
last
mob.
communists, maybe.
Enforcing the unlawful privatization of Revachol. 20 fat men in the Occident are stealing it all. And you're their bodyguards.
Fuck yeah.
Tall, broad-shouldered man takes a sip of his beer. Hey, the last time a tall, broad-shouldered guy talked shit to us, he got a kick to the face.
So ask what you came to ask. Or get back to your commanders.
Privatization is not unlawful. It's cool and funny. Yes. Good start. Let's take it a step further. Armed uprising. What are the unions plan? Okay, I don't know about armed uprising. I don't know if I'm that based. Yeah, I'm not really feeling any of these. Let's ask those questions. What are you gonna do to me?
What are we going to do to you?
I'm just clicking all the options, Kim. Don't judge me.
Why did you say that? Did you forget you're a cop? Again?
The Union isn't going to do anything to you. It is not a crime syndicate. It is a labor organization.
I mean, you guys potentially did murder someone and are covering it up.
Goddamn right it is.
If anything, it is the RCM who do things to people. But we digress.
What's your role?
Obviously, I'm a lawyer, a legal counselor for the Dock Workers Union. I
Well,
would urge you to consider what you say to my clients.
What if I want to talk to you?
What you want is of no significance, officer. Don't test your authority. In Martinez, you are no one.
I feel so betrayed. Fine. Free you guys. Wait. Man from Heimdall and the wildfire. Wildfire. A good one?
Yes? Hello?
She nods, her attention fully focused on reading. Who are you?
No one. I'm just a working class woman.
I see that.
She doesn't really want to be disturbed that much.
Alright,
This was a
fine.
tremendously useful interlude.
Kim, shut the fuck up. Takes willpower to even read the author's name. John Koss from Nicoania.
Hello again, sir.
Could put a point in composure. Do I care about my composure? Not really. Well, maybe. I don't know. I kind of like composure. I like not appearing weak. Book collects the national recipes of Arda. I was told that we can get like a map here.
These shelves are overburdened with books from the same series. You see the name Dick Mullen over and over.
Look through the display of books.
Crime fiction is a disgrace. An asinine misrepresentation of the physical attributes of the arduous everyday work of actual police officers.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you there.
These books greatly overstate the excitement of police work, glossing over how long it takes to
Okay,
actually
well
follow up
you're right
with
about
leads
that.
and eliminate dead ends. What's more, they completely ignore the psychological hardships of year after year coming into contact with people during the worst days of their lives.
I don't know. I think you're maybe overstating it a little bit.
Not a single mention of all the stress this work creates upon the officer's family. Detective fiction just doesn't tell the truth at all. Now, would you like a list of all the books found on the shelf?
Yep.
You see Dick Mullen on the job. Get Me Mullen. The Stalwart Adventures of Richard P. Mullen. Dick Mullen and the Murder in the Orchard. The Sordid Affair of Dick Mullen.
That time Dick Mullen got his blank caught in a blank.
A killing is declared. Dick Mullen in the Murder House. The Final Case of Dick Mullen. An Obvious Lie. Dick Mullen in the Clock Tower. The Ordeals of Dick Mullen. Dauntless Dick. Dick Mullen's Funeral Pyre. The Murder of Dick Mullen.
There any more?
Yes, there's also The Dame Who Did It. Farewell, My Mullen. Faking death seems to be a common trope in the Mullen series. The Morbid Tales of Dick Mullen. A dark tide turns. Tragedy calls for Dick Mullen. Another one with fake death. And, of course, Dick Mullen, the murderer. In order to catch a murderer, Dick Mullen must become the murderer.
Ooh.
Come on. This is not the way real police solve crimes. The real police are some 20 kilometers away, sitting in an armored motor carriage.
Come on, Chester. Tell the story again.
A bald man turns towards a lean man and pats him on the back.
Again? Man, I tell that one at least once a month. It's not that interesting.
The fuck it is. And these guys haven't heard it. You see, Chester here.
Oh, okay, he pokes a finger at the lean man. Chester faked his own death once. I don't know why they just stopped with the dialogue there.
Gosh, why?
One civilian looks on amazed. The bald man bellows a reply.
A very fucking dangerous case, ain't that right, Chester? They almost got you that time.
Yeah, sure came close. Alright, so I was tailing this guy called Francis the Shoe.
Why is he called the Shoe? The inside of the motor carriage is thick with cigarette smoke. Outside, it starts to rain.
After all this, you still haven't found the answer to the one question that matters. Who is Dick Mullen?
Who is Dick Mullen?
Your attempt to grasp at the answer fails. It seems very close by, pulsating just out of reach.
Okay.
The plaque on the shelf reads, Biographies of Famous People.
Ooh, maybe we're in there.
You see a large variety of names, none of which ring a bell.
Anything of note in this shelf?
I would say, The Greatest Innocence. Yes, most certainly. It's an important educational tool, delving into the depths of history, religion, and their relation to innocentic power.
Who or what is an innocence?
A very influential historical figure. But surely I don't have to tell you that. You're a law officer, and law officers have at least some education.
Just 6 weeks of training, baby!
The book is also very daring. The author aims to re-examine the universal understandings of the innocentic system, creating a fresh vantage point and a shift in the tired order of things.
So you recommend it?
Certainly. It's prudent for a person to have at least an elementary understanding of history and society. Imagine the chaos we'd be in otherwise.
I mean, I don't disagree.
You feel like you should get this one. Definitely. It's important somehow. There's something personal inside.
I mean, I do. I feel like Inland Empire always leads me in the right direction. I don't really know what books are for. I mean, there's like a loading screen thing that says like you can read a book to make the time pass faster, but I don't know if you get anything for reading them. I mean, I presume you do. Maybe it unlocks like a thought or something.
A true cultural touchstone. Enjoy the read.
Browsing through all the books with all their names makes your head spin. None of these seem important or relevant. It's all just vapid egoism. Suddenly, a particularly odd title catches your eye. It reads, High Speed Love, the tragic true love story of Jacob Irv and Alfie Delatraz, by one Cecilia Averbrook.
What's it about?
High Speed Love chronicles the romance between two of the finest tip-top tourney racers in history. One of them is the madcap driver, Jacob Irv. His blonde mane graces the cover. Next to Irv's life story, you see a slim biography of an Occidental rock star called the Anti-Star. He's famous for shooting morphine into one of his eyeballs and cocaine into the other. Next to that, Rivasholian radio personality Guillaume Bevy stands in front of a rundown drug den. He's a permanent fixture on Channel 8, reporting on real-life crime and ruining cops' days.
I really must insist you buy one of the books.
I just read.
Reading them is not
I just
for
bought a
free.
book.
Do still browse though, but not too long.
She understands she has erred against the customer and immediately corrects course.
I'm sorry, I did not mean to rush you. You are browsing. Go ahead. Take your time. Time is commerce.
Okay. Oh, is this our map, maybe?
Several maps have been attached to a bulletin board hidden inside the alcove. They're held up by small pins. The board has come loose from one corner. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulinda, a map of Revachol, and a map of Martinez.
Look at the map of
The north
Revachol.
coast of a verdant island is shattered by the delta of a river. It is the River Esperance. Countless bridges put the shards back together, connecting city blocks to river islands. La Delta says a great artificial heart in the center, teeming with life forms and construction. To the east, rolling hillsides, Le Jardin, Stella Marie, the suburbs of Saint-Baptiste, swallowed up into the megacity. They sound rich to you. This is Revachol East.
And west of the river?
Houdon. It's somewhere to live. Not bad. Then there's Jamrock.
Hey, Jamrock's probably
It's
fine.
bad. People shouldn't live there, but they do. Then Forburg. It's almost as bad and much larger. Then Coal City. It's the worst.
And Martinez?
It's so small you can't even see it on the map. No, wait. There it is, north of Jamrock, the strip of coast next to the Greater Rivershell Industrial Harbour. It looks downright despondent. It's almost Coal City, to be honest. No, this is somewhere to be. This is all you have. But it's still something. Streets and sodium lights, the sky, the world. You're still alive.
Damn right, sir. The map of
It's
Martinez.
not really a map. It's a tourist thing. A picture postcard with buildings on it, drawn from an isometric perspective. A date in the upper right corner says 48. Still, it's detailed. Could be pretty useful for scouting ahead. You see the jagged boxes of an industrial harbor, even the whirling in rags there.
Hello, may I buy a
I'm
map?
sorry, officer. The map of Martinez is the only one available. The other two are not for sale anymore. And besides, you could scarcely afford them.
Okay, that may be true, but don't think the insult hasn't been logged.
They're quite valuable, though they might not look it. The map of Martinez is 90 cents, though.
You seem to underestimate my resources, but sure, okay.
Yes, yes. Are you interested or not?
Okay, I want to buy the map.
Always good to be informed of your surroundings.
This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and biographies of famous people.
Paranatural
There's also
literature.
a wide range of paranatural literature.
What books are these?
Sir, please, no browsing in that shelf. That wisdom is not for free. I can't have you end up, like, opening a police store next door and stealing my customers. Oh no!
What?
Amidst the various books, you find one written by someone named Matthias W. Dundas.
I don't trust the dude
It's
named
about
Matthias, I'm
wholeness,
sorry.
Unity, balance. These three things are very important to the working class mind. The point of the book, and many others on this shelf, is to give people medicinal advice in situations where they don't have access to paid health services.
Well, that's kind of sad. How's that work?
It serves platitudes, while also telling everyone that traditional medicine, the kind people don't have access to, and which costs more than this book, is garbage, and would only give you cancer anyway, without even curing your cold or anything. Wholeness, unity, balance, on the other hand, can basically take care of anything. Though it is important to note, when it's up to your mind to heal yourself, then it's because of your mind that you're ill in the first place.
Does the book say anything else?
The book features chapters on topics such as how to find magnesium. It even lists plants you can harvest magnesium from. How to continue drinking if you're an alcoholic who has destroyed his liver. And there's even a chapter on the ancient Seraïs tradition of using duck gallbladder preservatives to treat and prevent sexually transmitted diseases. Pre and post factum apply. Nothing worth buying. This is just mundane garbage. What's
There we
even
go.
unnatural about this?
Find something truly otherworldly.
The throbbing in your head increases with every passing moment you gaze at this shelf. Suddenly, as if out of nowhere, a small green book becomes apparent. The title of it reads, Medicinal Purposes of the Pearl.
What's it about?
The book contains descriptions of various pseudoscientific therapies, alternative medicines, and folk remedies involving the pearl, also known as le territoire. For example, it recommends vigorously swatting one's naked body with a venik, or hand broom, made from the leafy twigs of a young birch tree from the near pearl.
Sounds invigorating.
It is, and good for the circulation too.
What else?
It also recommends consuming distilled spirits like vodka or whiskey that have been aged in the pearl. Readers are instructed to cover these jars in a shallow hole just inside the pearl and leave them there for 30 to 60 days.
I don't know if we have that
depending on
much
the
time.
potency desired.
And what does it do?
Among other benefits, it is alleged to restore a damaged liver to perfect health.
Ooh, I should probably get my hands on some of that. What else is in there?
For general health and well-being, readers are encouraged to take regular strolls through the pearl. Though a sidebar cautions readers to limit each stroll to less than an hour. These strolls promise to cleanse the mind of worries and the body of toxins, especially if the perambulator performs this ritual in the nude. Nudity figures prominently in a number of these prescriptions.
Obviously.
This is exactly what you need.
Anything else of note?
There's an entire section devoted to cures for men who are struggling to perform their marital obligations.
Well, I don't need that.
You close the book and return it to its place on the shelf.
Alright, fine, I'll buy it.
Indeed. Something about that book does seem to have spoken to you. Well, I hope it contains what you're looking for.
Some kind of superstar. They say the world isn't ready for a rock and roll cop. No one wants their state monopoly on violence to be mixed with celebrity worship. They claim to know it would.
I mean,
be
celebrity
dangerous
worship
for
is great
detectives
when
to
they're
rise
worshiping
to the
us.
ranks of demigods and have sexual encounters with barely legal.
Okay, I don't know about that part, but
It would be insane, they say. To all this, you say, fuck off and die, in a cool voice. You people have no idea how good these cops are gonna get. They're gonna crack 20 cases a day. In the future, cops will be like astrophysicists, or prime ministers, or prophets. And you're the first one.
that sounds cool. -1 logic. Learning cap for visual calculus. Okay, that doesn't really seem that good, but it's basically just a straight debuff, but eventually we can make one skill or some skills slightly better. I'm gonna put a point back into logic then. Okay, I kind of don't like that one. I mean, maybe it's eventually good, but right now it's just like it's literally just a debuff. But do you say anything new? A new day?
What have you found?
Have some more questions
Hey,
about the
but
curse?
Please, only a few questions. You wouldn't want to disturb the spirits.
Why didn't you just tell me about the curse right away?
It's not good to talk about the curse, not in detail. The negativism, it's dangerous. Talking about the void wraiths angers them.
What about the wards on the back?
Yes, the Simonees are very crafty, and their wards are extremely powerful. Lesser wards simply won't do here.
The woman
Right.
before you scans the
Oh, we could try the thingy again. Or not again, but for the first time. What is it?
It's dark,
Oh, yeah.
and the flashlight works a lot better if you hold it in your hand.
Got it, Ken. No need to rub it in. Oh, asshole. Could read these. But it passes time. I don't know if I want to pass time
The
yet.
worn map features the patchwork grid of the streets of Martinez, with directions to appropriately touristy locations. Year 48 resides on the upper right corner.
Trace a path through the
Your
grid.
finger moves through the various streets, across Rue de Saint-Ghislain and Rue Saint-Sipar, over Saint-Brun and Martinez North, finally coming to a halt on the spot where you are currently standing, although the map gives no such indication itself.
For a more detailed view of the map, go to your journal and select the map tab.
Okay, I could do that. I could also not. Wait. This Emma's Altier? I don't know, we're just kind of exploring again. So we're looking for the password. The wind howls in from the coal chute above. Did we click on this? I feel like I didn't.
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace.
Oh yeah, this is the
coloring
furnace
it
thing that
pitch black.
we were supposed to look into.
Looks like this furnace has a face, and it's a face of agony.
Smear your hands with coal.
A lush layer of coal now covers your skin, sinking into the wrinkles. Your hands look ancient. You feel the spirit of Ramut Karzai, ancient hero of Grad, pulsing through you. All that's left is to cover your face in war paint.
Hadramut Karzai, smear your cheeks black with
3
coal.
dangerous stripes appear onto your cheeks,
Yeah.
telling stories of your wild soul.
What are you doing?
I'm a reincarnation of an ancient Illimarian warrior?
Please wipe your face clean, officer.
No.
These 3 stripes give you strength in this dangerous realm. It would be foolish to remove them.
We're exploring this dark place. I need the protection my war paint affords.
And this protects you.
This is traditional war paint. It will grant me safe passage with the spirits that guard this place.
Okay, sure. Go ahead.
He stubbornly looks away from you in the furnace. You just don't get it. Look inside.
It's dark and grimy here. In the darkness you can hear chatter. It's coming from above. A voice or several voices talking to each other. Near the smoke chamber, upstairs.
What are you doing?
Okay. I hear someone upstairs talking.
Wait, really? You should investigate. See if someone's upstairs.
I mean, maybe it's the entity.
You're right. The rooms do look like they're connected. But malignant entities don't exist. At least not the supernatural kind.
Always has to be the skeptic, this man.
We have our physical instrument equipped already, right? Let me check. No, we don't. Alright. And nothing that's giving minus. I mean, I know it says +1 over there, but I don't know if we have... Okay, we're good.
A thick layer of coal dust covers the something breaks loose in you. A mighty bellow echoes throughout the chimney's depths. The chatter of tiny voices above suddenly cease. Then...
Hello?
Hear a woman's voice?
You've awakened the entity.
I summon the ghost of the doomed commercial area. Answer me, spirit.
Hello? Did you say anything? I can't hear you. Please come upstairs. There's a safety curtain on the 2nd floor. I'll open it.
Okay.
You hear a low rumble upstairs. The sound of a curtain being pulled aside.
After you, officer.
They put any new guns back here?
A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall.
Seems like an old...
Thought maybe they'd restocked it. Now, how do I get to the 2nd floor? And I guess I go back?
The bear's eyes are dead and empty. Ice inside the fridge, slowly melting. The power has been cut off. A friendly cartoon bear.
Good question, I know. At least it's not...
The fridge sits empty before you. An overindulgent...
Okay. We're looking for a curtain. A curtain. Ah, I didn't even see this part over here. Unless it was not open until now, but maybe it was. 22 cents! Kim, we're rich! Ring is full of dice, colorful polyhedral dice, hundreds of them? Candy dispensers been repurposed to contain thousands of dice?
Hello. I'm Nia.
A bird-like woman sits on a throne of tools with emerald light shining through her hair?
Did you try knocking on my window? I must have missed you. I've been listening to my Melius.
Taps on her headphones.
So what kind of die are you looking for?
Die?
Could this be the malicious entity? Perhaps it's wise to go along with this masquerade for now.
Yes.
She's got a direct view to the backyard. You should interrogate her about the lynching.
I haven't knocked on your window.
Then how did you get inside? By the south entrance? You know what? It doesn't even matter. What matters is that you're finally here. Let's talk dice. Did you have something specific in mind?
What do you mean by
Yes,
that?
Amelie is like a call-in station. You need a two-way radio to access one. That's why I have these. Mostly, they just teach you to swear in different languages. But some of the stations can be quite interesting. I was so absorbed, I must have missed you knocking.
Why are you asking about dice?
I'm a novelty dice maker. Tell me the name
It is
of
your
your
name.
role-playing system and I'll make the die you need. That's why you're here, yes?
As she speaks, her bone-like fingers fiddle with a ring. Her bones light, but her hands strong. Role-playing games? You know the one made by Fortress Accident. Does that count?
Sure. Well, let's, you know, play along. I like role-playing games. I need some dice.
Very good. My rate is 10 real per
Okay, I don't know if I have that much.
Unless you want something really unusual. Take a look around and see if there's any particular stone you want to use.
This person means you, or no one else. Absolutely no harm. She will answer freely and honestly.
How'd you become a dice maker?
How did I become one? It was a business decision. I was a regular jeweler at first, but that's an unfocused field with too much competition. Some of my friends were role players. They asked me to make some polyhedral dice out of cobalt. That was my first order. I grew it from there.
Do you like them yourself?
Not especially. I like working with rare materials and a steady pay. And role players as customers? They're nice people.
Maybe.
Some of those nice people have big bucks to spend on novelty items. She's thankful for the security they provide her.
Okay, so we could maybe order a die. I don't really know if there'd be any purpose. Maybe make a skill check that comes up easier if you buy something from her. But let's just ask about the lynching.
Nothing really. I didn't know him.
I don't really want to spend $10.
Who cares about the dead body? We might be dealing with a malignant entity here.
I mean, that's true.
The lieutenant looks at his notebook. Then, the woman under the large window.
Your window looks directly onto the courtyard. You're saying you didn't see or hear anything unusual last Sunday evening?
I'm sorry, detective, but as you know, I usually have my headphones on when I'm working. It shuts out most of the daily ruckus behind my window.
What do you mean by daily ruckus?
Well, there's always something going on in the Whirling's backyard.
He stops to try and come up with an example?
During daytime, there are usually those kids. And lately, I've been seeing a lot of drunk workers hanging about. Must be because of the strike.
She's not sorry to disappoint you. Informing on someone in a murder investigation would intrude upon her focused existence.
But I never saw anyone during that fateful Sunday night, I'm afraid.
You never took your eyes off work to look out the window. Well, actually, just do you often work Sunday nights?
It's an odd profession, making dice for people. But I like it, and I prefer doing this to sitting at home.
And you never took your eyes off the window?
I might have, but in this case, all I would have seen is my own reflection staring back from the darkness. It's really hard to make anything out in the yard when it's dark outside. Besides, I rarely get up to look out the window when I'm in the zone.
Well, you're not very helpful.
She nods.
Anything else, officer?
So, where are we? What is this place?
We're inside the chimney of an old central furnace. It's strange, I know.
He looks at the ruddy bricks that make up the walls. Even though they've been repainted, there are still signs of coal-black soot here and there.
But when I arrived here, all the other rooms were taken, so I had to build myself a makeshift home. Besides, I don't really have to pay any rent here, so that's a plus.
Plaisance was right. There's an entity living in the chimney. You should ask her about the curse.
Creative.
Okay. So I heard this place is cursed. Did you know that people call it the doomed commercial area?
I've heard the stories, but I don't think those stories are true.
Okay. Pleasant's the one who sent me. She's convinced the place is swarming with malicious energies.
Plaisance, the bookshop lady? I've heard that her business is doing rather well. Have the energies spared her somehow?
It's not doing well. There are hardly any customers. She has to exploit her own daughter just to keep the company going.
Oh, right. But it's not just the bookstore that's still up and running. What about the whirling in rags? Some people say it's part of the building complex.
Actually, it's not doing well. Its waitress just left randomly for no reason whatsoever, and some of their customers aren't even paying their bills.
And then there is me.
She sighs, looking at her messy work table. All kind of tools lie there scattered, from knives to carving files to wire cutters.
I've been here for 14 years, selling novelty dice to role-playing enthusiasts. Not exactly a million-real business idea, yet somehow I've survived despite the talk of malicious energies. Strange, isn't it?
Okay. Well, she thinks that you're a malignant entity.
Malignant entity? What does that even mean? Some kind of sorceress? What about you, officer? Do you think I'm the malignant entity?
I'm not going to answer yes because you'll hit me with a lightning bolt.
Time has come to face the source. Fear not, for the forces of the universe are supporting you in this psychic quest.
Yeah, maybe it is you.
So I'm the grand dragon in the cave. Might I ask what supports this claim?
I yelled to summon the ghost of the Doom commercial area, and you were the one who answered?
Oh my.
I've got an achievement.
I've revealed myself. You better call the exorcists.
I don't have to call anyone. I'm a ghost whisperer myself.
Of course. How convenient. Well, if you ever find a way to explain all those inconsistencies in the curse, then let me know.
Kim, I need holy water.
Plaisance needs to hear about this. Perhaps if you combine your psychic energies, you will make sense of the situation.
You know what happened to the other tenants?
More or less. Are you interested in anyone specific?
Bro, this is a lot of stuff. What happened to the gym?
It wasn't merely a gym, it was Artemitep's boxing club. A community project created to steer at-risk youth away from drugs and crime.
Maybe that's what Kuno needs.
Kuno? Who's Kuno?
He's a little ginger gremlin who likes to defile dead bodies.
Oh yes, you mean the kid with the sailor's mouth. Yes, I've heard him yelling profanities in the backyard. I think it would take more than a gym to help that kid.
Who was Artenet?
A kind man, from Zemsk. I heard he had some trouble with the law when he was younger, and that's why he wanted to start the gym, as his way of giving back.
So how did it work out?
It didn't. If anything, it made the youth situation in Martinez even worse. At some point, someone started a rumor that the punching bag downstairs was full of amphetamines.
A rumor, eh?
Eventually, the coalition took away the funding and the club went bankrupt. This was a few years ago. It's gotten much more peaceful around the plaza ever since.
I found the building's intercom, but it's not working.
Oh, right. I hope you didn't try to ring me. I think none of those doorbells work, including mine. I'm still in the middle of connecting the wires. Sorry about the confusion.
The doorbell with the empty name card must belong to her then.
So you're the doorbell with the empty name card?
That's right. I haven't even written my name there. As I said, it's quite useless right now. It doesn't work yet.
What about East Delta Pinball?
Right. It used to be a gaming arcade. This is an ancient failure, before my time. I'm not surprised, however. My advice? Don't base your business on a fad. Hypnotism, floriography, trick track, especially pinball.
Pinball's forever, baby.
Agreed.
Just like disco.
Pinball is the worst.
What?
His disdain for pinball could not be clearer.
Sure, I'm listening.
That's why you can't shake the machine well, Kim. Used to be a hair salon?
Yes, I think it was called Androgynous Orlando or something similar. They weren't a big hit around here. Turns out that working class men don't like genderless haircuts. They're scared of that word.
I mean, I think it's kind of funny, the idea that a haircut can be gendered in the first place.
You wouldn't like it either. The others would laugh at you.
Yeah, customers should be more open-minded. I mean, really, I'm a simple man. I don't really have any opinions on hairstyles, but...
I guess it just wasn't the time yet.
What's up with the broken windows?
Oh, this one's a mess. There used to be a company that promised to repair windows 24 hours a day. What could go wrong with this one, right? Turns out, the business was actually set up as a front for an illicit group that was producing snuff medias. Who would have guessed? And they never cleaned up the debris either. Now it's just littering the hallway and I have no idea how to get rid of it on my own.
I don't know if I want to ask about this.
It's a sub-Rosa radio station that broadcasts real murders with real victims. Some people pay good money to get off on it.
Don't worry, the ICP has a separate division that deals exclusively with unlicensed sub-Rosas. This isn't our problem.
Good luck with that. It's not easy catching those perpetrators.
Does someone make stuffed animals? I saw mounts lying around.
You mean Mr. Fabron, the taxidermist? No, he mostly just did drugs.
Based.
Anything else?
Found creepy mannequins?
There used to be a fashion atelier here, but I have forgotten the head designer's name. They were doing well for a couple of years, until the insect rights activists came.
I didn't know insects had any rights or activists.
Yeah, the atelier didn't know it either. They produced a certain collection that used chitin among the materials. Apparently chitin is made in the Occident, where it's extracted from beetle wings. And you know how all kinds of political movements are big in the Occident. The activists shut down the biggest chitin supplier, which of course caused the price to skyrocket. And, naturally, all the most fashionable tastemakers refused to be seen in chitin from then on. The atelier went bankrupt before they could finish the collection.
I have no real opinion. I mean, I'm not a bug defender. I mean, bugs are fine as long as they're outside. But if they ever get near me or intrude on my domain, they get what they deserve. Do I think they should be harvested en masse? I mean, I don't know. Is there a moral argument against it? Yes. Do I care that much? Not really.
Actually, insects do have brains, but yes, I understand what you're saying. I think the protesters took it a little too far.
I would be hypocritical to be outraged over the beetles.
As she shifts around, you notice several dead flies on the windowsill in front of her. Legs up. They're not moving.
Anything else?
Was it the rotor blades and
They
skis?
were made by a company called Slipstream. After they pivoted from making rotor blades to skis, their chief executive took off on a vacation with all their money. Honestly, I think it's quite funny. I think he's still sending out holiday transmissions from Tulula or Tiumotiri or Hashtkor or wherever he is.
What do the transmissions say?
The usual, I imagine. That he's been thinking up all kinds of new business plans and can't wait to get started on them just as soon as he returns.
Her smile widens before she sees the lieutenant's face behind you.
Men like that are a curse.
I don't disagree.
Sure, but Slipstream is history now. All their remaining assets got seized by the bailiffs in 47. I have no idea why those skis and blades are still lying around in the house. Not much use now, I guess.
I found a strange machine.
Fortress Accident, the radio game studio.
She closes her eyes as some remnant of memory lights up her face.
She liked them.
They were an interesting bunch. We talked about role-playing systems every now and then. Once, I even saw two of them get into fisticuffs over Wirral. They certainly took their work very seriously, even if they seemed to be chronically liberal with their schedules.
What do you mean?
The usual. They ran out of money and couldn't get the project done on time.
What went wrong?
Well, I did hear them talking at times.
She looks at the hallway as if she can still hear them chit-chatting behind her curtains on a cigarette break.
They seemed to believe they were historical individuals on some grand quest.
I mean, the project did look impressive.
Yes, but when the money started to run out, they just began to complain a lot about capitalism. You know, how the markets are rigged to keep out new businesses and so on.
No comment?
In the end, they just didn't get it done. They didn't have enough willpower to
I don't know
produce
if I'd go
something
that
truly
far.
historic, and to show up to work on time.
I mean, it's probably a bit of blame on both sides.
She's right. Showing up to work on time is important.
It's too bad. I would have supported them. The project looked great.
Not the wisest decision. You would have lost all your savings.
Oh, not monetarily. I'm not crazy.
The dice is black and filled with little silvery flakes, like snowfall.
Anything else?
Okay. There was a taxidermied bear in the cellar.
Oh boy, the fabled Revachol ICT. You're in for a treat here.
He smiles and leans closer, hands on her knees like a stand-up comedian ready to tell a story.
The place was owned by two guys who had some rather innovative ideas about marketing. The bear was one of them. Now ask me about their other ideas.
I want to know about the bear. Did the bear work?
Of course not. The bear was terrifying.
I do.
No one wants ice cream guarded by a hostile.
That's how you know it's good.
Predator. To make matters worse, the fridge didn't work too well either, and half the ice cream came out malformed and partially melted.
Yeah, okay, well that seems like a bit of a problem. But like, if you have a strong bear guarding the ice cream, that means the ice cream is valuable and luxurious because they have to have such a strong creature protecting it.
Eventually, Revachol ICT lost the price war to its rival, Class A 5000. Class A 5000 sold caramel sundaes for only 5 cents a piece, out of regular fridges.
Killed the bear. Okay, I kind of just want to say that.
You did what?
I had to kill the bear. Become the bear.
I can see the stripes.
The stripes are what keep me human.
That bear was one mighty mammal. The taxidermist who made it said it was.
Okay, you have taken over.
He said he met his vision beast while high on desiccants.
The role
Megatherion.
Of best NPC now that we learned that Gardner lady was a fucking narc who's mean and I don't like her. She was just acting nice. Okay. Megatherion?
Megatherion. A mega wild beast.
What's a mega wild beast?
It's an imaginary beast that guides you through life.
Ooh.
By telling you to do more drugs, mostly.
Oh yeah.
The horrific necktie tightens around your neck, strangely excited. But it doesn't feel particularly fun this time around.
I don't have a comment on drugs.
Understandable. You shouldn't do them. You're a police officer after all.
Yeah, we just had alcohol that one time.
Anyway, now you know the story of the fallen ice cream empire.
Seems almost sad finishing the story. Some dust beams swirl in the morning light. Her eyes follow it idly.
Anything else? Another failed business, perhaps?
What are the dialogue?
I've been here for a long time.
Or the lines different there depending on the time of day? That'd be kind of neat. I have more questions about the intercom?
I'm pretty sure it still doesn't work, but sure,
Okay.
sure.
Well, it was
I'm
just
listening.
split up.
Good. I hope it clarified things a bit. What else?
Okay, well that's good. Well, that's a good place to end it since that was a lot of talking, and the game's even saving for me. What a quinky dink. Alrighty, we will call it here, and next time we will continue exploring. We got all kinds of stuff to do, man. All kinds of stuff, because we have our map now. Rhetoric challenging, physical instrument challenging, damaged ledger. Fortunately, our logic is really bad, so I don't know why this like bugs out. Like I can't scroll down to the bottom. I mean, you have to scroll like super slow. Okay, none of these really look like warded door. I don't really remember that one. I mean, it looks like it's in the bookstore, but I don't remember a warded door. And the trash container, that was just popping it open without the key. I don't remember you having a volition skill check. I remember there was a volition one in the what you call it. Yeah, I don't know why it does that. But alrighty, we'll call it here. I'm Extra Cheesy 87. Stay tuned for the next part. And bye, guys.